Welcome to the Public Opinion Court, where the truth ain't reality, but opinions are. Listen, y'all, happy Monday. I hope you all had an amazing weekend as we all prepare for a short week because we are going into Independence Day. Now, I know I told y'all that I was going to bring you all info, bring it to you. I don't know what just happened, but I have some info because we are still doing the Freaky Rico Diddy trial jury watch. The jury verdict watch is going on as we speak. Well, they are at home right now, but they're gonna get back to it. But I told you all that I was going to bring you all any information that you need to know, because I wanted to get in your brain, get them juices flowing so that you can know from what I know, so that we can all know. Because at the Public Opinion Court, the truth ain't reality, but opinions are. We break it on down. We break it on down. We simplify it so that you all can understand it. And just like today, it was a little spicy. But as you migrate in, make sure you are liking and subscribing, as we have migrated fully to the Public Opinion Court, where we're going to be doing our breakdowns, our breaking news, and everything, as our collaboration with the Real Life Street Stars has ended on a Monday through Friday basis. But periodically, I'm gonna drop in. But I so thank them for allowing me to collaborate with them to bring you all the coverage of the Diddy trial for 31 days, y'all. 31 days. And I got my feet wet, and I'm so excited to bring you all over to the dark side. I'm just playing, but bring you all over as I transition into fully operating the YouTube channel as I grow. So one thing that I'm going to ask you all for engagement purposes is to make sure you are liking, you are subscribing, make sure you are sharing as you are on the live stream, because y'all going to help me and I can help you all, and we're just going to help each other. Now, to get straight to it, today the judge gave the jury their jury instructions, and we're going to get straight into it because I want to give it to you all so that you can know exactly what's going on. And then, y'all, at the end, I got some interesting developments, an interesting prediction, and we're going to do a poll so I can see what you all think. Okay? So, without further delay, let's go ahead and get into it. So, just as I broke down the government's closing, the defense closing, let's get into what the jury instruction was today and what they were charged with doing as they are deliberating to determine if the government met their burden. What the judge said today in the judge's jury instruction: you have now heard all of the evidence in the case, as well as all final arguments of the party. I will instruct you on the law as I give it to you. The evidence is the testimony, the answers, and the exhibits. Arguments are not evidence. You are the sole and exclusive judges of the facts. What is reasonable doubt? It is based on your common sense after carefully weighing all evidence. You must weigh each witness's credibility, the truth, and importance of their testimony. Size them up. You are able to size him or her up. Do it. You must decide. Sean Combs has been formally charged in an indictment, and indictment is not evidence, ladies and gentlemen. He has been indicted on count 1, which is charges stemming from 2004 to 2024 of racketeering enterprise. Count 2, from 2009 to 2018, sex trafficking of Cassandra Ventura. Count 3, from 2009 to 2018, transporting individuals, including but not limited to Ventura, for purposes of prostitution. Count 4, from 2019 to 2024, sex trafficking of Jane. From 2019 to 2024, transportation of individuals but not limited to Jane for purposes of PROS. Each count is separate. For RICO, the U.S. must prove that from 2004 to 2024, there was an agreement between two or more individuals for a racketeer enterprise that impacted interstate commerce, that the defendant joined and committed at least two predicate acts. The U.S. must prove a mutual understanding to cooperate. You may infer its existence from the circumstances of the case. Actions may speak louder than words. You may consider the acts of all those you find to be participants. If you find that Combs Enterprise existed, you must find whether it continued in a substantially similar form from 2004 to 2024. The people can change. As to the defendant being a member, he had to know of the existence of the enterprise. The U.S. alleges 8 predicates: kidnapping, arson, bribery, witness tampering, forced labor, sex trafficking, transportation for prostitution, intent to distribute narcotics. The U.S. has to prove 2 within 10 years. They have to prove 2 of those offenses within 10 years occur. Kidnapping does not occur if the victim consented. Consent may be withdrawn. Arson under the California law means the conspirator set fire or caused the fire willfully or maliciously. Bribery of a witness under California law requires that a conspirator gave or promised to give a bribe to a person giving or about to give information to law enforcement to unlawfully influence it. For witness tampering, which is a violation, it does not matter if the subject or threat is in fact fearful. Only a threat is required, but it must be knowing. Forced labor requires use of force or use of force of physical restraint. A person may withdraw consent and it may become forced labor. Trafficking will be the same definition as in count 2 and 4. Transportation to engage in prostitution, the same as count 3 and count 5. Distribution of narcotics include knowingly and intentionally transferring to another person. Physical custody is not needed. Control is enough. Now, RICO has a 5-year statute of limitation. You must find it continued from 2019. If you find that the government had not proved this beyond a reasonable doubt, you must find the defendant not guilty. On trafficking, counts 2 and count 4, transport means to take or convey from one place to another. Reckless disregard satisfies the statute. The deliberate closing of eyes. You must be unanimous on at least one specific instance of trafficking. And did trafficking involve trafficking of Cassie or Jane? Counts 2, counts 3, counts 4, counts 5, you would determine not guilty or guilty. On count 3 and count 5, knowingly transporting or arranging from the transportation of an individual for the purpose of an act of prostitute, let me stop saying because I don't want YouTube would ding you. Buying or arranging a ticket is enough. Pros does not need to be the main purpose. Pros is engaging in actual activity for money or is equivalent. You must be unanimous on at least one act of transportation with the intent to engage in pros. On venue, the U.S. must prove at least one act occurred in the Southern District of New York out of the 8 counties. Now, you are in the home stretch. In weighing expert testimony, you should not accept it just because I allowed it. The testimony of government officials are not worth or more or less weight of any witness. Witnesses given immunity should be examined with greater care than ordinary witnesses. Charts and summaries, demonstrative aids are not evidence and will not be available to you in the jury room. Certain witnesses were permitted to be identified by pseudonym. That should bear on your evaluation of credibility. The defendant had no responsibility to testify, and he did not. You must not attach any significance to that. Voluntary intoxication may negate the intent requirement of RICO predicates. Uncalled witnesses. You have heard names of people not called as witnesses. Each side had an equal opportunity to call them. Do not speculate or consider this. Any notes you took are only for you. No outside readings. You are to consider only what was presented within the 4 walls of this courtroom. You may not communicate about this case, including on Twitter, Instagram, or YouTube. If you see this, tell the deputy. Do not be swayed by bias, including implicit bias. The hidden thoughts can impact what we hear and see and how we remember it. You would now retire to consider the case. Each of you must decide the case for himself, herself, after deliberating. Your verdict must be unanimous. If you are divided, do not report that specifics. Your foreperson will send any notes out and any verdict. Any communication with the court should be in writing. Do not read any news reports to this trial if there were any to be published. Please please accept my heartfelt gratitude for your service over the past 2 months or even more. Here's your verdict sheet. Only if you find the defendant guilty of count 1, answer as each predicate. Not proved or proven. That was the jury instructions, ladies and gentlemen. And let me give you some, let me go to one specific where they talk about voluntary intoxication may negate the intent requirement of RICO predicates. So we heard throughout the trial that individuals like Cassie had taken drugs each and every time. So some people may look at that as voluntary. You are allowed to if the evidence supported the voluntariness of it. If you find that it was voluntary, you may negate one of those predicates. However, there may be instances where it wasn't voluntary. You heard testimony for Cassie where she stated that she was forced, like he would tell her to take this. Jane testified that she said she was forced. You heard Mia say that she was forced. You heard Brendan Paul said that he was forced. You heard BB. So when you look at it from a full lens, just because on one occasion it was voluntary doesn't negate the fact that other occasions was involuntary. So I wanted to kind of break that down because I know how that could be confusing. Let me go back to the statute of limitation. RICO has a 5-year statute of limitation, which means that on its face, RICO expires after 5 years if the government doesn't pick it up. But if there is a continuation, like past 2019, which is where individuals like, oh girl, Jane comes into play. She comes into play. So that would continue. The enterprise is a continuation. They also put different time frames. So when you look at charge 1, it has to be from the inception of this enterprise, 2004 to 2024. Count 2, you see 2009 and 2018. That is from the existence of Cassandra Ventura. Then you go down to count 4 to count 5 from 2019 to 2024. I'm a little skeptical about that. Did they prove 2019? I heard 2021. Don't give me the line. That ain't my business, but so you have seen how easy this jury instruction is and how easy it is to prove what the government has alleged. Y'all. Whew. Now let's go into these jury questions. There were 2 questions that came out today. And so what jury questions are, once the jury gets the instructions and then they go to deliberate, questions may be asked. Now, I believe juror number 5 was, he was promoted to being the foreman. The foreman is the one with all the responsibility. That's the person that they trust. They're like, oh yeah, you the heavy hitter in this room. So we're going to put you as the foreman because you are the authoritative and not, you ain't going to let nobody run over you. So juror questions, they can ask questions related to whatever question that they have. Are they going to get a response is up in the air. So one of the jury questions today was, the foreman submitted, there's one juror having a problem following the judge's instructions. The judge has requested more information about the juror's concerns. So what that essentially means, that juror probably went back there and forgot everything that judge had read because they are dealing with juror fatigue. It's not for a lack of comprehension. It's probably because they tired. But that is a question that was submitted. And it may have been just something so slight in understanding. And it may have been unanimous or a majority question. So, and this person was a 57-year-old Caucasian man. This is the question that I believe is very concerning for the defense and could lead to finding him guilty. So this is the question that they submitted. If someone asks for a controlled substance and the person hands it over, is that distribution? Yes. The answer is yes. What the law stated in regards to distribution, you are in possession of an illegal controlled substance, however you got it. As soon as you give it to someone else, even if they ask, you have distributed. That is a crime. Even if the person asks, you are supposed to say no because it's illegal. But if you do and you give it, you have distributed. So what the judge asked was like, hey, how do y'all want to respond to this? The government stated, I think the answer should say yes, then point them back to the instruction. Agnifilio stated, I would like a little more time to discuss it with the team. My initial reaction is that is not our proposal, what the government is saying. So the judge said, go and confer with the government and let us know by 6 p.m., which they've already let the judge know how it's going to be handled. So let me go back to distribution. I think I have distribution so that, do I have distribution? No, I don't have it in here, but I have it over here. Do I? Nope. But hold on. I'm trying to find it in here because I want to make it plain for y'all. But even if it's not plain, distribution of narcotics includes knowingly and intentionally transferring to another person. Physical custody is not needed. Control is enough. So it says, let me make it plain. Distribution of narcotics includes knowingly and intentionally transferring to another person. Even if they ask, you have intentionally and knowingly transferred it to another person. So what does that mean, ladies and gentlemen? Guilty or not guilty? I mean, not guilty or not guilty. Yes or no? Proven or not? I'm going to put a poll up. Let's see. So here's the RICO indictment chart. Y'all already know I went over this with you all, but I wanted to put it back up so that y'all can see what is going to be what they consider. Now let me go back to this question. I'm telling y'all, this does not look good for the defense. If this is a question they have considered, they're just trying to get clarity on the yes, which means that it's proven for one of the predicates of RICO. And all you need is 2 of the predicates to be proven. And it doesn't matter how they go about. They can pick bribery and distribution. They can pick forced labor and kidnapping. Whatever order, so long as out of those 8 predicates, they are picking 2 unanimously. It does not all have to mean that they have to pick the same 2. So long as that they pick 2 out of the 8. And if that is the case, that is guilty. And they would go down the line to pick proven or not proven. Then you go to the trafficking and transportation. Y'all, it's not looking good. And I told y'all in the trafficking, all you need is one occurrence. You can have 1 million, and out of that one, if that one equates to trafficking, guilty. Transportation, did y'all see how easy the transportation part is? It is insane. Let me go back to the transportation. That is it. When I tell you, y'all, it's not looking good. I cannot believe that it was this simple. This simple. Kidnapping, we have bribery, we have that one. Transportation. Hold on. Transportation means to take or convey one person from one place to another. Reckless disregard satisfies the statute. The deliberate closing of the eyes. What it says is, did trafficking involve Cassie? So as soon as you pay for a ticket, that constitutes transportation. As soon as. It does not have to be the main purpose. If it ended up in that way, done. Done, 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 done. So tell me what y'all think in the comments, because y'all, it's not looking good. It's not looking good. So what, based off of what we have discussed, what do y'all think? Do y'all think the jury is going to come back with a verdict tomorrow? Or do you think at least by Wednesday? Do you think they're close based off of that question and what I went over? Are they close to determining or coming to a unanimous decision? Y'all, I'm going to leave it to y'all, but listen, y'all know how I do at the Public Opinion Court. Make sure you are liking and subscribing. Make sure that you are sharing and sending our live out so that we can get more people in. I'm trying to grow this channel to at minimum 1,000 followers, subscribers by the end of July. If I could get more, shout out to God, because he is the greatest to ever do it. The GOAT of all GOATs, the legends of all legends, the head of all heads and never the tail. So make sure you are subscribing to our channel. Make sure you're sharing. Make sure you're liking. Make sure you're engaging in the comments. I want to hear from you so I can respond to you all, because ain't nothing like showing up, having a question and I answer, asking it. That's, baby, you got me here. You got me here. So tomorrow is going to be interesting. Of course, I will be back. Make sure you are following my social media pages, because I posted an update today so that y'all can have, more than just tonight. But as always, make sure that you are enjoying yourself in the life that you decided to build. The Public Opinion Court, we love you. We are family. And yeah, I can't wait to see y'all tomorrow with another update from the Public Opinion Court. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, I want you all to have an amazing night. Have an amazing Tuesday. And we're going to continue to watch for the freaking Rico verdict. Oh, I'm nervous, y'all. I'm nervous.